Greetings and salutations. Dave Duford here with yet another Dig Agency free lead case study. I've got Mr. Scott Cooper on the line. Last month in September, he wrote 30,532 in annualized premiums, specifically selling final expense for a total of 34 applications. And he is here today to give you exactly the process he used to become that successful and write that much business, and hopefully leave you with some good golden nuggets to apply in your pursuit of selling any kind of insurance, whatever it is you're selling. So, Scott, thanks for being here. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. It's a beautiful day in Oregon.
Oregon. You got a Dallas Cowboys helmet behind you. So,
For those of you out there who are not Cowboy fans, don't hate. I am a diehard Cowboy fan. I have been since 1979, and we suck right now.
hey, it takes a special person to love even in the bad times, right? So,
Right.
all right. So, how did you get involved with the Dig Agency? What was your pathway to getting here?
Well, I was doing mortgage protection for almost 6 years. Did well, did very well. Found out that I could actually sell insurance, and so, as time went on, it seemed like mortgage protection kind of started to go down a little, and I kept hearing about how big this final expense market was, and all these baby boomers that were apparently getting ready to shift into that age, and how it was going to be like job security for the next 25 years. We're very appealing.
Right.
So I decided to stick my iron in that fire, so to speak.
Yeah. So I'm curious. So just for the sake of the audience, mortgage protection is is typically term insurance. It's sold to people when they buy a new home or when they refinance. So the idea is simple. You get this new home, you also get all this new debt, right? And what if one of the breadwinners die? You may lose the home because the income situation changes. So it's a great product to sell, but it's tied to the ups and downs of the real estate market. So a lot of mortgage protection in the last couple of years has just kind of gone cold. It'll come back when the housing market comes back. But I'd like you to go into describing, I mean, for the couple of months you've been here, what have you seen the differences be kind of just in the process of selling final expense over mortgage protection? Give us the pros and the cons just to help the audience understand better.
Well, I would have to say that the audience is different. It's the age range and where they're at in life. The mortgage protection people are a lot of people who are just beginning, starting, creating a family, still working and doing all that. And the final expense people are more at the so to speak, the final turn on the track. They're in the Social Security department and heading down the stretch, and have gone through all the stuff the mortgage protection people are getting ready to go through. So, and there's a little bit of some change in health with a lot of the elderly as opposed to the mid-range people. But other than that, it's just the person on the phone, right?
Do you think one is easier to sell than the other, or is it just different?
I think they both have their selling points. I think qualifying maybe might be a little bit easier for the mortgage protection because of their health. Isn't maybe not
Sure.
nearly as I'm finding that there is higher health risks in the final expense than there is, which I kind of already knew. I mean, as you get older,
Right.
getting old is not for sissies. So no, and that's primarily the big difference. But I still think that it's they need it when they're raising the family, and they need it when the family's all gone and they're all by themselves, stuck with Jeopardy all day.
Right, right. Absolutely. Well, cool. So, mortgage protection, when you were selling that with the prior IMO, you were buying leads, right? I assume.
Very expensive leads, mailers, wonderful
Okay.
leads though.
Oh, they're awesome. Yeah, you hit those right after they
Oh,
buy the home. I mean, that's like they're the best. I always thought mortgage protection leads were the best in the business, direct mail. So, but now you're in our free lead program. What's the difference? I mean, you probably were at a higher contract with mortgage protection. Now you're at a lower one, but no purchase for leads. Any thoughts on the difference there? Because sometimes agents are like, "Oh, I'll have a low contract," but you get free leads, is what I said. What's your thoughts on making that change?
well, I mean, I guess it depends. I think with the free lead, I mean, if you really are a numbers guy, which I'm not, I don't really do all that. It's just too much, and it balances out, I think, because kind of like, hey, I was spending phew, upwards of 2,000 plus a week on mortgage protection
Oh yeah,
mailers.
I believe it.
And I was at a high contract like you had mentioned, and I was making a lot of money. But then when you're not buying leads, you're low. I mean, I think it all washes out in the long run. It's not going to be like, I don't think it's going to be a monster difference.
Yeah.
There could be some on one month or the other, but I mean, it ebb and flows, with the, so it balances out in my opinion.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. I mean, my entire career when I was selling before the agency was buying leads, and I just couldn't imagine any other way. But it seems to me it does wash out for the most part. And I think in the right free lead system, if you've got good coaching and training, et cetera, you should sell a little bit more because with free leads, you're going to be held accountable, right? I mean, like you don't get free leads endlessly. It's Dave's money after all. You better be making some off of it. So there is kind of that accountability metric, which I think can help you sell more. But
Sure.
I definitely don't think it's like you're going to make a ton less if it's the right setup. So take us through kind of a typical day of like, again, a lot of our audience is brand new to insurance. They may not even be licensed. Like, what does a day look like for you sitting down, starting off, and then ending the day selling final expense remotely?
Well, my day is it's pretty rugged because of the coast I'm on. Everybody, a lot of these people that are on the Slack, and they're East Coast people. So I'm up at 4:30 in the morning, man,
Oh
and I'm
yeah,
getting
you're up
right.
early. That's right. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
on the
yeah.
phone at 5,
Oh wow. Okay.
and I'm going on the East, and hey, even a few of them are not even up yet. But
Yeah.
I start at 5, and I usually try to go to 5. So 12 hours, and in between, I'm a gym guy. I love the gym, so I go to the gym at noon and spend lunch at the gym and eat and drink when it's time to eat and drink, and just keep that headset on your head and wait for the ping noise and somebody gets on the phone and try to talk to them. But yeah, I go pretty early. It's like, but you got to, unless I don't want to work 8 to 8,
Right. Yeah.
work
Yeah.
till 8 at night. So I work from 5 to 5 and write some policies, and then you know what? You get up and do it again the next day. And sometimes I work last Saturday and wrote 2 policies out of like 20 calls, so I wasn't mad about
Nice.
that.
That's good. That's a good way to start and end the Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Very good. Cool. Well, as we wrap this up again, Scott, thank you so much for being here. What couple of pieces of advice? You've been in the game for I think it's at 6 years in mortgage protection. In general, what advice would you give new agents coming in to be successful to start with?
Well, the first thing is there's a lot to it, in my opinion, as far as just who you are. Be you, but don't be afraid to hear no. Um, be the authority, be the expert on the phone, build some rapport. Don't go into these long, lengthy 17 syllable word things with these elderly people. I mean, I follow the script that Dig has provided. It's kind of like a what do you call it? A arch of where you can walk through to kind of get a
Yeah,
diagram of where to go. But
right.
my script is short, man. I mean,
Yeah,
I go and I get right to it because the attention span of these people is different. They don't
yeah,
just, you got to just be you, but you got to get in there, and you got to I like to ask a lot of questions. I'm a question guy. I was a drug and alcohol counselor for 10 years. I ask questions, and what I try to do is I find out what the pain is.
right,
And then
right.
as soon as I got the pain, I'm done. I'm going to make the pain
Uh,
go away, and that's by getting them a policy that fits their budget. And as soon as I do that, we're going to find out. And I also I'm real I would say that sometimes you just have to take control. Like, I wrote a policy for a guy last week that was a big rig driver
mhm.
driving down the high. I could tell he was driving something. I go, what are you in? I go, it sounds like you're in a damn tank. He goes, I'm running 18 wheels down North Carolina right now. And I said, oh, and he's on the phone with me. He's got the headset. I figured, okay, this guy, he knows how to talk on the headset. We get to the banking information. He goes, yeah. He goes, I'm driving right now. I go, well, truck stop probably coming on. He goes, there's 5 miles. Pull over. He pulled over, got the banking information, wrote the policy. It's like, you'd be surprised what you can do when you just kind of give people the idea and tell them, hey, just do this instead of giving them a bunch of options. But
Yeah.
if it's something that's going to benefit them and they want to do it, you should have no problem doing that. It's like, hey, I'm going to do something real good for you today. So let's get it done. And don't be afraid to don't be afraid on the phone. They'll hear it. These
Yeah.
people, man, they're old, but they're not dumb. They know things. You
They
hear the
do.
little trembly voice and the guy who's scared. It's like, oh, I don't want to say that. You'll say no. It's like, I'm looking for you to say no. If you're not in the game and you're serious not to protect your family, because I'm about as serious as it gets when it comes to covering your family. If you're not there with me, I feel bad for your family, but I'm going to get you off the phone because I don't want to waste my time with you.
Right. Yeah. How long do you
Honestly.
think it takes to get for you? I mean, you say you get right down to business. How many minutes is it on average for you to get to the sale? Like, here's the options. Which one do you want to start with?
Well, I mean, I get right into the medical, and then as soon as I'm done with the medical, I ask a few qualifying questions, and then I have them start telling me about how bad they don't want to put their children or their loved ones in that financial burden. They start telling me that. I'm already toolkitting it,
Yeah.
and I go, bam. Well, guess what? I can tell that this is really important to you, and you know what? I'm going to take care of this for you today. We're going to put this behind you. You don't have to worry about it again. And then I give them their options, and I say, so out of those three options, and I always say, I got the beneficiary's name. I don't say which one's best for you. I say which one's best for Susie, and then
That's
I
good.
shut up. She said, "Well, I can do the," and then I crank the wheel on the. Can you pay this? I say things like, "Listen, I don't. I know that you say you can do this, but I'm saying if the tires fall off the vehicle, if the washing machine goes shooting through the wall, if the dog needs to go get dewormed all in one day, can you still pay this? Because I don't want to put you in something you can't stay in. That's just doing you a
Are
disservice."
you sure you've never sold final expense before you joined us?
I just say it. I mean, they laugh. Sometimes they're like, "Wow," and I'm like, "Yeah, I transparency is something that I guess
Oh,
is
that's
just
good. I mean, we don't want them to lose their coverage because then they won't be
oh
protected, you know?
no." It's like don't get all excited because they pick one because
Yeah.
that does not mean anything. You
Yeah.
could write it and then 2 days later that was too expensive. No, I hammer it down. I say, "Listen," because if I hear any kind of hesitation, I'm dropping it. I
Right.
say, you know what? As long as your health continues to be good and you're in a good spot, we can always add. But I don't feel comfortable putting you in this one because I don't. And if they come at me with like triple digit premiums, I'm try everything I can to talk them out of it. Oh, I like that 120 a month. I go, yes, you do. Let's talk about this for a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey.
But you know how, you just gotta talk like I'm talking to you right now. Just talk to them. Be
Yeah.
yourself. Use your voice. Don't get like all, don't be afraid. You're gonna get to the social, the banking. Go at it with I do my banking information in a very, very unique way, and it works for me every time. I have about maybe a 99.9% success rate on getting banking information. And I do the give take thing. I'll get the routing number up and I go, hey, I'm going to go ahead and verify some numbers on your checkbook right there down in the bottom left-hand corner. Routing number, blah, blah, blah. They go, that's correct. I go, yeah, verify your account number, please. And then they always give it to me.
Yeah. That's good.
And I don't say it like, oh, because people go, oh, dear God. So, okay, yeah, that's good. So your address, oh my God, okay. How about we need to get the bank in from you're done.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I get it all day long. I get banking information and social security numbers all day long. It's part of it. And if they want to get it, they're not going to trip. What's your social? And
Right.
it's like, oh, here it is.
Right.
Hey,
Right.
just be you.
Just be you.
Don't come up with a bunch of weird things. Okay, I got to say the magic word. I got to say all this important stuff. I don't do the whole Mutual of Omaha was established in 1902. They actually insured people from the Civil War, I'm sure. They didn't have the coverage. Founded, and I don't go into these I just don't do it because you'll hear these people. All of a sudden, you'll be talking to them. Next thing you hear is a bunch of pots and pans. You're like, oh, you gravitated into the kitchen, Betty, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. You're
Really
too
don't care.
long-winded for me. Yeah, they don't want to hear you no more. It's like, oh, no, I talked too long.
It
So,
is
yeah,
funny how much we think they care and how little they do.
short and sweet, man. Make it go. Get it done.
Yeah.
Get it in there. Get on there. Find out that they need it. Write the policy. Move on.
Well, Scott, thank you for being here. It's a pleasure to have you, and look forward to
Absolutely.
seeing many more months of kind of success you're pumping out. So thanks again for doing this. Appreciate you, man.
You got it, brother.